Erlinde Kolbel first photographed Merkel in 1991.
I was struck by her power, even though she was an inexperienced woman.
She's taken her picture for 30 years, describing a down-to-earth character who keeps her emotions firmly in check.
She talked about this in the interviews I did with her. She had to learn it, and I think she learned it very well.
She also says Merkel never lets ego get in the way. She never once insisted on approving a photo.
She didn't love the cameras, but she accepted to be photographed because it's part of her position and her job.
Now that Merkel is stepping down, the political autopsy of her chancellorship and what state it's left Germany in is well underway. Klaus Goetz teaches at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich.
One couldn't really argue that she leaves the European Union in a much better place than she found it.
Goetz describes Merkel as a manager, not an innovator.
The structural impact is not comparable, for example, to the chancellorship of Helmut Kohl. Under Helmut Kohl, we had the Maastricht Treaty, with the introduction of the euro. We had German unification.
Merkel's advocates say it is her skill as a manager that has defined her premiership, an ability to seek compromise into the wee hours and present a steady hand at the helm during times of crisis. In 2015, when hundreds of thousands of mainly Syrian refugees arrived in Europe, Merkel was criticized for leaving Germany's border open. Her response to worried Germans:
"Wir schaffen das.
We can manage this." Malika Jasmati and Mohammed Al-Khamean say they owe Angela Merkel a debt.
It's refugees' mother, because she opened her hands to them. For me, I'm so sad, actually. I like her so much.
The couple were a part of that Syrian wave. Today, they have a son and a successful Syrian restaurant in Berlin. Jasmati has even cooked for Merkel. Many Germans responded to Merkel's call for the country to become a welcoming culture. But her decision also provoked anti-immigrant groups, and it was on her watch that a far-right party was elected to the German parliament for the first time since the end of the Second World War. Jasmati and Al-Khamean admit to some jitters about a post-Merkel Germany.
For me, I feel afraid about everything.
She occupied a huge place in Germany, So if she left, who is the one who will take this place?
This election campaign has seen the two leading contenders essentially trying to out-Merkel Merkel. But there are those who want a less cautious leader. In the early days of her tenure, Merkel was known as the Green Chancellor, climate change high on her agenda. In recent years, she's been accused of dragging her feet, despite pressure from climate activists. Travis Todd, a dual U.S.-German citizen, runs a campus for startups in Berlin.
I think she's been a stabilizing force there, but she's definitely not been innovative in any way. On climate, on digital economy.
COVID-19 gave Merkel another crisis to handle and another boost in popularity, but it also exposed Germany's outdated bureaucracy, still relying on fax machines and snail mail.
It's at least a good step forward to have a change of leadership in Germany at the moment, especially around these topics.
Erlinde Kolbel had her last photography session with Angela Merkel 3 weeks ago, as yet unpublished.
It was emotional, of course, but we had to put our ritual also, as we did it every year.
It ended, she says, much as it began, without any fuss. Margaret Evans, CBC News, Berlin.